Welcome to Tapped In. My name is David Figueroa-Martinez of DFM Coaching, and this is going to be a positional playbook on chest over chest passing. I did a episode a while back on chest over chest, but it was specific to like what I learned from Josh McKinney when I was at GGJ Mental Model Spring Camp back in April. And I think this approach is going to be more on how I approach it, what I do, what I'm looking for, and mistakes we make when we're in this position. I have been teaching and developing and studying this since April. I initially taught a very broad approach when I got back from the camp. And then because it's been a point of focus for me, I've developed a couple of things that I think are specific to me and my body type or my approach or my experiences that maybe Josh does not do, or maybe he does. He's not someone I train with regularly, so I'm not really sure. And as I've taught this a couple of different times, like I taught it all last week during the morning, and then I did a brief overview at 5 Peaks, and then I did a deeper overview at 5 Peaks workshop. And the goal was to introduce the broad aspect of it and then go a little bit more granular into things that I'm doing. When I approach the position, we are not going through the guard. If you could picture your opponent flat on his back and I'm approaching right down the middle, it's not what I'm trying to do. If I straddle legs and I come straight through the middle and I kind of squat, that's more of a headquarters position, slightly different. In headquarters, if you're not careful, they can lift with that butterfly hook and kind of off balance you. For me, it leads into float passing, which I can do a playbook on later, but it's not really what we're wanting to do. When I approach someone's guard and they're on their back and they have their feet up, I first play a game of cooking you slightly. And what I mean by that is I'm pulling the legs. I'm grabbing the actual structure of your legs. I'm not grabbing pants. I feel like pants get me into a sort of bad habit. Sometimes I grab pants at the wrong spot. Pants have a give, specifically if you do like a spider grip. They move around. They're not solid to the leg. I like to grab mid-shin to ankle, maybe even foot, depending on who it is. When we start playing that, I start to move in and out. I take a step forward. They might start to press their leg forward. I take one back. I change the angle. I might step to my left. I might step to my right. I might continue to push-pull as they move, redirecting their feet. The goal at this stage is to make sure that their feet, the sole of their feet does not touch me. If the bottom of their feet make contact with you, they can push. If the bottom of their feet make contact with you and they have grips on your gi top, they can pull you in, either go into close guard, another guard, or maybe even balloon sweeping you. So I want to avoid their feet making contact with my body as much as possible. Additionally, they will start to hook. They'll hook with one foot behind your knee, leg. I want to avoid those as well. So I have made a little bit of a game of it. And I like to cook you. And by cook, generally for me, it mainly means a lot of pressure and I'm on top of you and I am not allowing you to breathe. But we can also cook you by making you tired. So I will push your legs down. I grab the bottom of your shins, the foot, the ankle, and I start pressing. And then you're going to press back. And when you press back, maybe I change the angle. I take a step to the left or the right. I'm at a healthy distance, so I'm not on top of your hips, but I'm able to make connection while disconnecting from you when needed. I will start to push your shins, and when you push back, I might take a step to the right or left and then push your legs past me. Now I'm getting past your ankles, I'm getting past your knees, and I'm getting to your hip/chest. I could go knee on belly. I could go shoulder your chest. I could drop immediately chest to chest. So it gives me quite a bit of options there, depending on how you respond. I will do this for a couple of minutes. I don't want to get chest to chest right away. I want you to exhaust some of your energy in doing this dance. I don't want you to get grips on the collar. That's another game. But I want you to have to continue to have to move and adjust to me. And in those movements and adjustments, your legs get tired and they can't keep up as well. So when I get to a point, sometimes this is a minute, 2, depending on how skilled they are, then I will take a step to my left because I love passing on the left. I do not pass on the right very often. Not initially, I should say. When I pass to my left, I straddle your bottom leg. In that case, it's your right leg. My chest goes on top of your top knee, the one that you're doing a knee shield on. My inside knee is bent. My outside knee is bent, but a little straighter, almost like knee on belly. And my chest is over your chest on top of your knee shield. So I typically feel my opponent's knee around my shoulder, pec, sometimes upper rib, depending on who it is. When I look down, I see left shoulder, which is their top shoulder in a sense, because they're kind of on their hip. And then I get, with my left hand, collar, my right hand, belt. You could do pants, you can do gi top if you'd like. If it's no gi, I go shoulder and lower back. And I press in a little bit. So my knees are able to flex and balance and push and kind of adjust as needed. I don't want to be so far over that they can turn to their left and roll me. If they try to roll me, if my position's good, they will not be able to move me at all. So again, I'm in what looks like almost neon belly-ish, at least my body configuration, but I'm straddling their bottom leg, which is in this case their right leg. Their left leg is knee shielding against me, and their arms are framing against me. Once I'm in this position, I'm looking to hang out a bit. I want to camp a little bit. I don't want to rush. I want them to work. And because I have collar and belt, I'm cemented to them really well. If they push off, they can only push me so far. If they start to turn, my weight is positioned in a way that it's harder for them to turn away. So they have to withstand my weight and defend from that position. I then will lower my head sometimes. I will shimmy my chest where I start to rotate it. And sometimes I flex to the right. And then I switch to the left. I'll switch up and down so that my chest is kind of rotating around and it feels like almost floating. And I'm waiting to see where their knee shield becomes weak. And if it starts to flex to the right, I will sometimes let go of the belt with my right hand, cup their knee shield, and push it past me after kind of pushing in and letting go a little bit or getting a little lighter, and then push it past me. More often than not, when I rotate to the right, they sometimes overcompensate and they want to push the knee shield back to the left a little bit, and I'll follow that along, and then the knee shield starts to collapse, and I'll collapse on top of it with a sprawl. This is a win for me. Anytime I can get past the knee shield, it's a win. I don't care if I land in top half, if I'm sprawled over both legs, if I'm able to knee cut. It does not matter to me. I've defeated the knee shield, which is the biggest headache when you're trying to pass from this position. My job when I'm in here is to take my time, force them to continue to adjust, because with every adjustment, as I shimmy or I undulate my chest and my hips and my ribs, they have to readjust. For every adjustment, it eats into their ability to tap into their energy reserves. So when their arms are straight, easy to do. You can hold that for a bit longer. When you start to rotate or change the angle of your chest and ribs, they have to adjust. And in that adjustment, they start to burn out. And depending on what they're doing, I get a little heavier. I pull in a little bit more with the collar grip, a little bit more with the belt grip. And then I get deeper. And then when you get to a certain point, knee shield can't defend as well. The arms are no longer straight. They're getting tired. You'll feel it in their response. And oftentimes the knee shield will collapse. You collapse over it. You get really heavy rib and hip pressure. You don't let them move out of this. And then you can start transition, sometimes to mount, sometimes to the back, sometimes to knee cut variation. But the job or the goal is to make them have to work from the position. We can get really fancy. We can, depending on what they do, we can knee cut. We can start windshield wipering our legs. We can drag, after we sprawl, we can drag both their legs off to the side with our right knee. We can grab the pants of the knee shield and drag it back. There's a lot of things we can do here. We can go reverse half once the shield is out of the way. We can play with the position and make it as detailed or as broad as possible for our own understanding. You do not have to be technical here. You do not have to be high level to understand the position and make it work for you. You understand weight. You understand, I got to grab these two things and I got to get heavy here and balanced. The other stuff will come with more experience. It'll come with more time on the mat. It'll come with more time in doing what you're doing. You do not have to be super technical. And that's really what I love about it. You're not going to be tapping into your own energy reserves because all you're doing is really hanging out there. You're pushing, pulling a little bit, changing the angle with your chest, and you're just waiting to feel where they're not. Where they are not, or where you find them weakest, that's where you drop the weight. That's where you knee cut. That's where you sprawl. That's where you pull the knee shield out of the way. That's where you, once it's out of the way, sometimes they move it for you. You collapse chest to chest, control the head, control the arm, get really heavy there, punish them from that spot. Common mistakes that I sometimes lead or sometimes see. You're imbalanced or you have your feet too close to their torso or their body. If I'm too close, that means my chest is higher and I can't generate as much pressure. If I'm too close, because my chest is higher, I can be pulled to the opposite direction. If my legs are in the right place, but my head is too far over, same thing can happen. So if you're going to try this, I suggest picking up a partner before or after class and just kind of hanging out there. Watch the positions, get your grips, watch your balance, and ask your partner, can you move me? If they can move you by rolling to their left, your balance is off. If they can move their chin, you're not applying enough pressure. If they can move under you somehow, you're not applying enough pressure. You want to pin them to the mat where they are with this. Create the movement by rotating your chest, shoulders, creating different angles to force them to have to adjust, and then take advantage of where they are not. Sometimes their knee shield drops to your hip, not on your chest. I drop my chest to their chest, head and arm control, and then I sprawl. Sometimes they'll create a different angle where they come back and they're flush with you, they're flat on their back because of the act of moving around sometimes creates that. Take a step back in the direction you want, readjust. If they happen to center and then lift you, you're going to have to adjust and maybe do a knee cut, maybe go to quarter mount, maybe just push yourself back, readjust, and go back to the position. I also think that some people rush this position. You are not supposed to rush, in my opinion. I get the best success out of it when I force it regularly and I sit in it. There's a little bit of camping there. You're not going to sit for indiscriminate amount of time. You will go, when to go will be obvious. The knee shield will pop out of the way. The frames will get weak. The knee shield will collapse on top of this bottom leg. So there'll be major signs of when you should go. Then there's going to be a couple of subtle ones that I sense where I can force the action. But that's just me. One final thing. That bottom leg of theirs, the one you're straddling, cannot come back into the picture. Sometimes I prevent that leg from coming back by using my left hand, the one that's on the collar, to monitor. I'll let go of the collar, place it on their thigh, knee, just to hold it in place. Sometimes I keep the collar and I use my left knee to pinch so that knee never comes back into play. I cannot have that leg come back. Once it comes back, they're centered and they can use both legs to play guard, to lift, to push, becomes a different problem. Additionally, we can keep the collar and we can wrap our right hand behind the top thigh and through to the bottom leg and cup that leg or get a handful of pant grip so it doesn't come back into play. That's another style you can play. But just play with it. Take some time. Appreciate the position for what it is. It's very simple. It can be complicated. It does not have to be. If you're new to this, your job is just to be heavy and balanced. That is it. Understand where you can go. See where they give up. See where they create voids for you. And then take advantage of those voids. If you get swept, so what? Come back to it. I'm hoping this kind of helps with this. I did do another episode on this previously. I'll link that in the bio. I'm really hoping that this helps people who feel that passing is too complicated by simplifying and just understanding this pressure-based standing option. It has done wonders for my own game. I'm passing with far less steps. I'm not thinking about passing the way I used to. It's become a lot of fun for me. If you have any questions about this or anything else jiu-jitsu related, hit me up at dfm.099 on Instagram and Threads. I also have a free school community that you can join. All my recorded workshops are on there. There's a couple of audio series. We do Q&A, technique of the week. Please, any way I can help you, please let me know. Until next time, thank you so much.